Anita, and
I'm Stephen in Hong Kong. Welcome to our first show.
well, absolutely. Welcome to our first show. And I'm in Atlanta, Georgia. Well, actually, that's where I live, but I'm kind of down on the coast of Georgia right now, Stephen.
Having a staycation, it sounds.
Having a staycation. That's what we're going to talk about on our first show. But, I think we should tell the folks really what Take Travel Inside Out means to us and what we're going to bring to them. Because we have a lot of exciting ideas in mind. Because when you say Take Travel Inside Out, we're talking about all of those expert things that maybe like the experts know, but we want to make sure other people know as well. So Take Travel Inside Out is going to be all about bringing great information to people through the visual as well as having guests on, videos, pictures, all of those kinds of things. I'm so excited about it, Stephen.
I know, and I think our experience is really going to help because Anita's been a flight attendant, worked for a large travel company. I've been a travel agent, worked for a large .com travel company. So I think that's going to really enable us to take travel inside out for you. So we can talk about all the surface things that you see when you go to a travel agent or you go to an online travel site. But we'll also take you behind the scenes. And by going behind the scenes, we'll tell you how to get more out of every travel experience and maybe even get more for less money.
Oh, well, hey, that's always my thing, because if you do it for less money, that means you can do more travel.
And that's what we like. Can't get enough of it, although it's a bit challenging this year, isn't it?
Oh, well, yes, this pandemic has been crazy.
Yeah, well, that's really been turning travel inside out. I've seen the statistics of international travelers coming to Hong Kong on vacation, and it's dropped by 99.9%.
Wow.
Now, I find that shocking, but not so surprising. Actually, what I find really surprising is there's still 0.1% of people coming here on holiday when you have the 2 weeks quarantine and all the other things going on.
Well, that's true. And here in the States, Stephen, people are traveling and they're getting out and about, the sheltering in place. People felt all cooped up and locked down and, just kind of out of sorts. So now people want to get on the road because it's summer here and summer has always meant vacation, but people are staying close to home and they're doing this whole staycation thing that we're going to talk about today and just talk about exactly what a staycation is because we're bouncing that word around a lot. But are you really doing a staycation if you get in the car and go on a road trip?
Yeah, you mean, I think there could be lots of different definitions of a staycation. Like I would consider what you're doing now as a staycation because you're still within your same state. But other people could define staycation as literally just staying in their house, maybe within their city, even if they're staying in a hotel in the city. So lots of different definitions. But I think we're going to take staycation today in its broadest sense.
Yeah, because before the pandemic, I always thought of staycation meaning that you're not going somewhere where you're going to stay somewhere else. You're going to go out and see the city that you live in during the day, but you're going to come back home and that's going to be your accommodation. Or you're going to actually stay in your house and do some things right inside your house or outside in the yard. And that is a staycation as well. So now this pandemic has created staycationers. So we even have all these new words now. Instead of vacationers, we have staycationers.
It's a whole new language coming out of this pandemic, isn't there, with everything going on and the massive change.
It's really, really amazing. It's very amazing. But, those are the two things we're going to talk about. We're going to talk about going away from home as well as doing some things inside the home. So I think we have a lot of great tips to share with everyone.
A lot of great tips and a lot of ideas on how you can get more for your money.
But, Stephen, before we get too far in, something we haven't done is let people know how you and I kind of came together because they're probably wondering, like, you're in Hong Kong, I'm over here in the States, South Georgia, North Georgia, I'm, always between the two. But we have known each other for 20 years. And when you talk about those big travel companies, that you've worked for and that I've worked for, we're actually talking about the same company because we actually have worked together quite a bit. But we've known each other for over 20 years.
Yeah, absolutely. I remember the first time meeting you, we were observing a training course happening, and I won't say any more about it, but it was a very funny story about my first memory of a discussion with Anita, but we'll save for another show. But yeah, 20 plus years, but also the job was with a travel company, and we traveled quite extensively together with that job.
Oh, we've been to a lot of different places. We've had a lot of mishaps with our travel experiences together. But more than that, we've had a lot of great fun and had to, be resourceful. And that's another thing, too, about taking travel inside out is when those mishaps happen, how you handle it are, that's really great tips because if you travel a lot, there's going to be some snafus along the way. But I just want to
Yeah.
let you know it's my Southern accent, I think, that got you kind of confused that first time.
Yes. You said something and I heard something very different, which I thought was quite controversial.
Yeah, I think the audience better get to know us a little bit more, but we promise
Before we reveal that, yes. I'm not so sure I'm ready to share right now.
yeah, we'll share it along the way. We have lots of stories that you probably better get to know us a little bit first and have that glass of wine or something, or maybe some stiff liquor or something too.
So all the places we traveled together, Anita, what was your favorite trip?
Oh,
Or
I
what
would
was
definitely say our South Africa trips.
yeah,
I mean, because,
South Africa?
yeah, we went to so many different places there. We were working, but we always found a way to have fun. And we get in a little bit of trouble too because that's the other thing about the two of us is we get
Yeah.
trouble out there.
Well, I think we'll have at least one show dedicated to South Africa because we do love it and we know quite a lot about it, having spent a lot of time there on vacation and business trips. But let's focus on staycations for this show. And I've been on quite a few in Hong Kong. I've stayed I think I've been on about 4 in Hong Kong over the last few weeks because there's some incredible deals with the hotel chains. And they're being really creative in some of the themes that they're coming up. And I would have never have thought it was worth staying in a hotel in your own city. But I have to say, every time I've had a fabulous, amazing time. It's like going on a proper holiday, but with a lot less stress.
Oh,
If you get to pack anything, you can just pop back around the corner home and pick something up. But also you see your city from a completely different perspective.
yeah.
And the hotel companies are being really creative in coming up with different themes for staycations. So I want to share a website now. And
Pictures of you also too. I hope you'll share those.
absolutely, we'll share those.
I think they know us well enough for you to share that.
Yeah, and here we go. So the Cordis Hotel have come up with staycations on 18 different themes. They have staycations for friends, staycations for couples, or staycations if you want to go away by yourself and recharge your batteries. So here are some of the staycations they have for friends. So summer screenings where you can have a movie weekend. And VIP screening in the ballroom with a 7-meter high ceiling. We have a Best Friends Forever party, which I went on, and I'll show you a picture in a moment. And of course, I would have gone with Anita had you been here.
Well, Hong Kong's my favorite city, so if you'd sent me an invitation during, better travel times, I would have been there.
I know you would have been here. And the BFF comes with a strawberry cake and a bottle of champagne. If you and I were there, Anita, we'd probably want more than one bottle of champagne, don't you think?
Yes, 1 bottle each, probably, at least.
Yes. I know that's your favourite tipple. Some of the other themes, private kitchen in the sky, a Pierre Jouet artistic afternoon where you paint a champagne glass and bring it home. How do they think of these ideas?
I love that one. I don't know how much painting I do. I do a lot of drinking out of that glass, though.
Yes. Well, and gin. Do you like gin?
No, not too big on gin.
Yeah, no, I'm not a big fan of gin, although I'm getting to like it now. I didn't realize there could be so many different brands with so many different tastes. So there are some that I'm finding out I like, but of course they're the expensive ones. Michelin dim sum cooking class. This is the one I really want to go on, where they teach you how to make dim sum, and you also get a dim sum meal at the hotel restaurant.
Nice.
A Mai Tai weekend.
That sounds fun too.
Yeah. So they're just some of the examples. So I'll now show you the photo of...
Of yours BFF party.
So as I mentioned, went on the Best Friends Forever weekend. So here's me and my husband and our best friend in Hong Kong.
I love it.
Because, of course, you're my global best friend. But here we're celebrating being in Hong Kong for 2 years. So you can see the hotel go the extra mile to make sure you have a good time. And they've decorated the room.
They decorated it.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. 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 It's like when we walk through the door. And the Best Friend Forever package, you have an adjoining door between the 2 rooms. You could use the rooftop pool. We had a fabulous time.
I can tell. I love it. I would have definitely been there.
Anyway, let me share another example of how to get good deals.
Yeah, because staycations are just, I mean, as you mentioned earlier, you can save money, but you get a chance to see the things in your city that you probably normally would not go and see. Or if you had family or friends coming in town, you might go and see some of those things. But a staycation allows you to really kind of get out there and see your own city.
Absolutely. So here's another couple of website recommendations, staycations.co, where they have different cities and different staycation offers. And Anita, I know you've got some ideas of websites to check out for staycations.
Yeah, the one that I have here that I'm showing, it is a website called Living Well, Spending Less. So we like the name of that website, just first of all, for other things. But since we're talking about staycations, they have 25 awesome staycation ideas. And you can see right there, it's starting with the family because, the kids are home. So, families are also having to think a little broader in terms of what a staycation means. Because now you're also having to include the children, come up with family things that adults will like. So something for everyone. So they also give some tips on how you can set up a staycation. All things around setting some ground rules, no smartphones, no emails, none of those kind of things. Staycations are all about connecting with the people that are there in your home. So you see, they're saying no to all of these things. No television, unless that's part of the staycation, of course, because I think we're going to talk about some staycation ideas, and certainly movies and things like that are a good idea. No fighting. That's interesting that one has to be put in there.
Yeah. Very interesting. You have to set that as a ground rule.
Exactly. But I guess, hey, if you have kids and maybe some sibling kind of things.
Oh, yes. That's probably the children. I was thinking of the adults. That's an interesting list because I have to say that's why I've enjoyed going to local hotels so much, because you're kind of getting away from these things. And working from home at the moment, like a lot of people are because of the pandemic, your home is your workplace. So you really need to draw the line. And if you're having a staycation at home, you really need to shut the door of your home office, shut your computer away. And I know when I went to the local hotel, I left my laptop at home, so I couldn't do my emails and things like that. That's a really important point, I think, for a staycation in the current environment. Yeah,
because it's so tempting because, I was talking with someone recently about how staying at home and sheltering in place and kind of being with yourself and away from kind of the day-to-day interactions that we have at work is that, or not even work, if you're always working at home, but you're going out, now we're just focusing so much on ourselves, we can sometimes forget that, we're paying too much attention to that cell phone or too much attention to the computer. So we have to make sure we're not getting too self-focused as well during this pandemic. So planning a staycation is a great way to make sure you're connecting with the people right there in your home.
Yeah.
So you see, they say here, plan for fun. So definitely want to do that. Get creative, and they list a bunch of things that you can do to get creative, things that you can do to get you out of the house, as well as some things that, maybe you can do within the house as well. And one of the things here that I wanted to point out that really is very popular during the pandemic is this take a virtual museum tour. So many of the museums all around the world. So this isn't just, right out, in your city. These are museums that are all over the world that now you can, if you've been wanting to go there, you know, going to the Louvre or something in France, in Paris, but now you can do a virtual tour. So it's a great way to really take advantage of those things as well.
What a fabulous idea. So you can kind of travel, but from your armchair and go and visit the museums in a location. You can probably find some other stuff online as well. And then maybe make the meals, get the food in advance so you can make the meals themed on that country and create a bit of that place of the world in your own home.
Absolutely, absolutely. And here are national parks that are listed, but any of the parks in your area. Here in the States, we have national and state parks, so both of those are great. But I will give a cautionary note to the parks. Everyone is doing that because social distancing can be done much more comfortably if you're doing it outside. So definitely check to see if there are limited access to some of the areas of the parks, and also to how long you have to wait, because a lot of them are overcrowded and you may have to wait. So I've even heard stories of having to wait a couple of hours.
Yeah, we've got a lot of places closed in Hong Kong at the moment. I see there's a recommendation there to go to your local cinema or theatre. They're closed in Hong Kong, as are amusement parks. We have Disneyland here and Ocean World, both closed currently.
Yeah, same here. Disney's closed as well. And the drive-in movies are, I think, are the ones that people are going to. So drive-in would be a great idea.
Yes, I've never done a drive-in movie before. Do they still have many locations in the States where they do drive-in movies?
Yeah, you can still find them around. Not as many as there used to be. And it's been years since I went to a drive-in movie. But I know my niece has gone a couple of times with some of her friends. That's how they kind of social distance and get out and can do something. But Stephen, this list, I mean, I won't go on and on with this website, but definitely check it out because there's just a ton of great ideas. And I do want to share another one as well. And this is Travel and Leisure. Let me get to the top here. 100 plus fun things to do at home right now, from virtual tours to animal cams and more. So here's another great list if you're just, you know, trying to come up with ideas and trying to figure out just what to do so that everybody has a little something to do. You know, these are great lists. Take a virtual trip at home. So great ideas for that. Go sightseeing around the world. We just mentioned that with virtual destinations where you're doing it all via an app or going online. Great tours. I mean, they list all of them here with direct links. So that's why this site is really good, because it's linking you right to everything here. Explore museums, art theaters, and culture at home. I'm kind of whizzing through it because I know we don't have enough time to go over everything. And then get outside. Another great one here, mentioning the parks and everything. And look at this, if you've been wanting to go to Alaska, you know, visit, you know, Glacier National Park and some of these places. You know, if you've been wanting to go to different states, you know, around the U.S. and, you know, not a lot of people coming to the U.S. right now because our COVID-19 is spiking again. But you can come virtually to the States. So just lots of ideas here. Things to eat and drink.
Very comprehensive list, even how to make your own cocktails.
How to make your cocktails. And again, I mean, these are live links. So when you go to the website, travelandleisure.com, and we'll list all of these websites at the end here so you can have them. But great ways to create that staycation and make sure that, you know, you're having a great time.
And one of the staycations that I want to do at home is create a spa at home. I get some nice things for the bath, maybe some candles, maybe some rose petals if you really want to go for it. You know, maybe do a bit of a workout with some health videos or stuff online at home as well, and have a house break at home, because this is a challenge when you don't get out much, is keeping fit. So many ideas.
Absolutely. And you know, things that I've done at home, because I love that spa idea. I think I might try that one. I don't know about the exercise. I'm doing walking in the morning. That's my exercise. But I like
that's good enough. And I have to say, one of the best weekends I had, which wasn't a staycation for me, but was a staycation for Anita, if you define a staycation as traveling within your own state, was a visit to the birdhouses on the amazing Cephalo Island, and eco-friendly too, Anita.
Oh, Absolutely. I'd love to share a video I have of that, so people can see exactly what you're talking about. So if you
Yes.
I'll definitely show that as well. So Cephalo Island birdhouses, it's located on Berry Island off the coast of Georgia. You only get there by ferry. It's located on Cephalo Island, about 45 minutes south of Savannah. So a lot of people know Savannah. And the houses are built on stilts, so you get a really great view of the ocean, of the marsh. You see, you have a full porch here out in the front of the house. You can sit and take in the full moon or watch the tide come in. Inside is, I like to say it's an urban experience, but in a natural setting because you have everything there, a full kitchen and everything that you need is right there. This is one of the smaller cottages. It's called the Painted Bunting. It's really our most popular cottage because couples really like it, so they can come and they can relax and have a nice time. And it also faces the ocean. And here you can see kind of a view looking down at the cottages, so you can kind of get an idea of just how they're situated there. And people love to come because of the beach. The beaches are dog friendly, as you can see. Those are my dogs running through the water. But it's also just a great spot because there's a pavilion there. You can have a picnic. You can just kind of cool out, get out of the sun for a while. But the beach is definitely the biggest attraction. Miles and miles of beach, usually uncrowded. You and whoever you're traveling with can be the only people on the beach. You can see crabs and other seashells and things like that that you can collect or kind of watch the sea life. It's also the home of the Geechee Gullah culture. So you have people there who make the sweetgrass baskets. You can actually purchase one of those if you'd like. But the sweetgrass baskets are made by some of the local people that actually go out and gather all the materials and come back and make the baskets. They also make fishing nets there that they use for fishing. So a lot of the traditions from a long time ago. And Guide Dr. Buzzard and the Bolito Man is a book written by Cornelia Bailey that talks about her life and growing up on Cephalo. So it's a great way for an introduction to the island and what the island is all about and just to learn a little bit about it. And that's Cornelia with Doc Bill. They've done a lot of things together. She is now passed, but definitely her memory lives on in so many ways. And it's so scenic all around the island. So just a few pictures here of just what it looks like around the island. There's a ferry dock, where the ferry comes in. People go there for fishing, just to watch the birds. I like getting in the back of a pickup truck, me and my dogs and friends, and kind of driving up to the northern part of the island that's not developed at all. So great sunrises. I get up for those in the morning, beautiful sunrises. Great sunsets as well that can just, make you just feel relaxed and like you just want to kick back and not do anything. You can disconnect really well there. You can disconnect, but also connect with whom you're traveling with. So that's Cephalo Island. You remember
It's a great example. And what I like about it is you were there with your dogs. And that's another benefit of doing a staycation or doing something near home. You can take your animals with you as well and spend beautiful quality time with them.
Absolutely. That is so true. It's perfect.
Yeah. And I think that was a great example of doing something near home, but not in a hotel. And of course, there are amazing other accommodation opportunities for you that you can find on websites like Airbnb. And which sites are your birdhouses on, Anita?
Well, you can find one on Airbnb for sure. The cottages are listed there. We have 4 accommodations on the island, so you can find them there. But also, too, you can just go to our website and book directly through us. So you can do either one. But you're right about Airbnb. Airbnb, of course, has taken a hit like so many other parts of the travel industry. But in some places, Airbnb is still doing pretty well. I know here in the States, people are using that as a way to travel close to home and finding something other than a hotel that they would stay with their whole family.
And another part of Airbnb is when you log on to Airbnb, you've got a choice of accommodation, but also experiences. And when you go on experiences and look at your hometown, you might find that Airbnb are running some experiences local to you.
All right, it's true.
Books, and I see they're doing a few in Hong Kong. I haven't done one in Hong Kong yet, but I did one in Milan. So if you're living in Milan right now, this is an opportunity for you to do something local. And it was a cooking class, a pasta and tiramisu cooking class. What's amazing about it is going into someone's home, and it was an apartment, but it was like a palace, and she was so welcoming and so knowledgeable, and she was using her grandmother's recipes and weaving in interesting stories. That was an amazing experience.
So do you feel like you can prepare that meal now back at home?
Well, I've got the instructions, haven't done so yet, but I'm sure I will one day. The problem is we were using like the proper pasta making machine. I'm not quite sure how I do that without the machine.
Oh, that's true.
Now, you were telling me something about what the Iceland Tourist Board are doing.
Oh, yes, this is a hilarious story right here. I mean, Iceland invites you to scream out your frustrations because they know everybody has been locked down and sheltered in place and just, away from everything. And just really a change of everyday lifestyle. So what they're doing is they're saying that you can go to their website. I see you have it here, so this is great. You can go to their website and you can actually scream out your frustration. So some people are simply screaming, which is what I would do, because I just feel simply like running and screaming is what I feel like. So you can do that, or you can scream out words. So since you pulled it up, Stephen, why don't we give it a try?
Okay, well, I'll kick off. Oh, it's not working. Let's go again. I'm so frustrated. I can't travel and see my family and friends like Anita.
Okay. Let's see.
So now it's your turn, Anita. Scream your frustration.
I'm just going to scream because, like I said, I feel like running and screaming. I feel like running and just going, ah!
That's quite an impressive scream you've got there. Anytime you've got some water, you must be hoarse after that.
I actually feel better. But the funniest part is that they have a disclaimer on this. And their disclaimer is that if you are really feeling frustrated and you're really feeling as though you just, you've got to run and scream, that you probably should also seek a little bit of help. So, but once you scream and they have the recording there, they actually play it out into like the Iceland, wonderlands. And I guess your local residents can hear the screams. So what I'd like to know is how they're doing with all of these screams coming across, these loudspeakers. I would just love to, I'd love to know how they're doing, how they're handling it.
Shall we listen to one? Shall we listen to Simone from Copenhagen?
Yes, let's see what she's saying.
Here she comes. Or maybe she's not coming. Here we go. Good one, Simone.
Well, she sounds a little like me. She sounds like she's just kind of screaming. Let's try another one.
Not quite as piercing as you were, Anita, I have to say. You were very piercing.
Hey, that just shows you how locked up I've been.
Well, Anita, I think it's about time to wrap up our first show.
Yeah, we've done screaming, we've shared websites and shared videos, a little bit of everything. So I think we've given everyone a little bit of a taste of what's to come. And like we mentioned earlier, I mean, it's all about travel inside out, taking travel, those things that would be good tips, things that are, good information, insider information. We're going to have experts on the show. As a matter of fact, Stephen, I think we should extend out to everyone watching and listening to let them know that we'd love to hear from them, show ideas, or maybe having them on the show as well.
Absolutely. So you'll see our email in the details. We'll also share with you our website and Facebook page where we'll share all the tips and websites that we've been through today. So you can check those out in case you didn't get time to write them down. And our next show will be in 2 weeks. And I think we've done very well to keep our show down to this time, because normally when Anita and I meet, we have an awful lot to say. And if I think it's a British saying, and I've always thought it's the strangest saying. I'd love to know how this saying come up, but I do think Anita and I could talk the hind legs off a donkey.
You know, all the times that I've been with you in London, in the UK, I don't think I've ever heard that one.
I'm full of British sayings. That'll be maybe I share one every week. That's my British saying for this week for everyone.
Yeah, I think that'd be great fun to share some of those. But you know what else I was thinking too is that maybe we should just find some of those kind of crazy sayings that are from all around the world. That might be a fun show to do.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're thinking of
I've worked in lots of different countries, and I catch myself when I'm going to say one of these like little British sayings and then I think, you know what, I will say it. I say, there's this British saying, which is there anything similar in your country? And there's not always exactly the same, but kind of the same saying, but in a different way. It might be with different objects. That's really interesting.
I think it would be very, very interesting. But yes, we definitely could. We could talk forever about travel, about what's going on in our lives, and just funny things as well too. We're never in a shortage of things to talk about. That's for sure. But this has been great fun.
Too much fun. So watch this space to hear about our next show. We're looking forward to welcoming you, and most of all, we're looking forward to hearing from you. And if you could please subscribe to us, so then you will get a heads up of our next show. And give us a like.
Yes, 2 thumbs up. But this has been great. So thank you, Stephen. Also, thank you to you, and thank you to everyone watching and listening. We really appreciate you guys, and we'll be back in 2 weeks.
Thank you, Nita. Thank you, everyone, for joining us. See you on the next show.